The LG G6 came out just under a year ago, and it got me thinking, should you still buy the LG G6? Of course it's not that old, but it's really not that new or cutting edge either. Hey guys, my name is Ryan Thomas from Failtech, and today I'm going to tell you why you should or shouldn't buy the LG G6. First off, let's go to the big reason why I personally bought this, and a lot of people will personally buy this phone: the camera. And of course with the Pixel 2, the Pixel 2 XL, the Galaxy Note 8, the LG V30, there is a lot of competition even within its own brand for a camera. And I wouldn't say that the camera was the best, but that wide angle lens is something that you really have to experience to understand why people like LG's route of going wide angle, which they have with, I believe, the G5, the V20, the V30 and the G6. Because don't get me wrong, it is really not the best camera in any phone. The sensors aren't actually that good, and I found a lot of washed out colors, not incredible dynamic range. Really, it goes to overexpose if you leave everything in auto. It just overexposes a lot, and the video isn't the best. There's no high frame rate. You go to 60 FPS at 1080p and that's it. Yeah, UHD 30 FPS is nice, and you get that on both the cameras. The standard focal length of equivalent around 24 to 28 millimeters is optically stabilized, so you do get that smooth video and those good low light photos as well. But then the wide angle is not stabilized, and so you can get some shaky footage, although because it's so wide it kind of evens out. The wider the focal length, it's actually less noticeable to see any shakes. I personally really like the experience of shooting with something so wide. Another part of this phone, which is a head turner, is of course the screen. Now this isn't the biggest screen that we've seen in phones, because of course you've got the 5.8 inch Samsungs and 6.2 inch Samsungs, as well as the 6 inch OnePlus 5T and Pixel XL2, but it's got a 5.7 inch big, beautiful 2880 by 1440 IPS screen with some rounded corners and an 18:9 form factor that when these first started coming out I really didn't like, but I found that it's kind of useful, especially for split screen multitasking, because of course you do get those almost 2:1 aspect ratio, and the rounded corners are a little bit gimmicky. I actually found that in this model, like in the LG G6, there isn't a completely rounded corner. It's kind of like cut off, and if you look really closely and you have a really keen eye, it will bug you, and it will make you want to go with something with a far superior rounded corner system like the Galaxy S8. One thing I do want to accentuate though is that this phone is incredible for watching videos. A 5.7 inch display isn't the biggest on the planet, but it really does make use of that nice screen to body ratio to give you an incredible multimedia viewing experience. Whether you're playing games, whether you're watching YouTube videos with the kind of pinch to zoom kind of crop out, it's just a great experience overall. And with a quad DAC in the European model, you're bound to get a good experience either way. You have to pinch to zoom to go full screen because most YouTube videos are 16:9, and this is an 18:9 display, meaning that you're either going to get pillars on either side, or when you zoom in you're actually going to crop out either the top or the bottom. That's just how it works. Some apps do stretch, which is weird, but that's how it is, and not all apps are optimized for a screen like this. That meaning that some will come in 16:9, will either crop or stretch, but hopefully the industry takes a standard. Of course we had 16:9 and 21:9. Hopefully the industry goes with like an 18:9 or 18.5:9. Don't really want some weird in between. It would be nice to actually pick a standard and stick with it. The G6 takes the old plastic designs of previous LG devices and basically tells them to go stuff themselves, because you're getting a much more premium build than any LG phone in the past prior to this. Incredible, well-built metal rails around the outside that are just chunky and thick, and you think, yeah, this is a good feel in the hand, with glass on both front and back. And in this black one, it kind of gives the illusion of liquid, or maybe a tuxedo, like a black suit kind of thing. It's really classy considering, something like an S8 is very elegant, it's got curved edges, very rounded. This one is like, it means business. You've got that flat, thick side around the outside, you've got those chamfers, but at the same time you've got the elegance of a slightly curved black back and an incredible flat on the front. This is also IP68 water and dust resistant, which is nice to see in a phone like this. It does keep the headphone jack, and it's mil-spec certified. Bezels aren't the smallest in the world, and this isn't the most elegant phone in the world, but I really like LG's approach here. Now the fingerprint scanner is on the back, it's fast and accurate, not quite as fast and accurate as something like a Pixel or a OnePlus device, which is just incredible. But where this fingerprint scanner differs from a lot of others is it's actually a button as well, meaning that you lock your device with the same button that you unlock it with, which is weird because now I'm kind of used to either pressing on the front or the back for the fingerprint scanner, yet locking the phone with the side buttons. Dropping back to the front front camera a second. I found it suboptimal. It wasn't the best experience I've ever had with a front-facing camera. It was very bad in low light. Even in good light, it felt a little bit soft and just not quite there for a 5 megapixel sensor, not even compared to something like the S7 Edge from yesteryear, and gets completely blown out by the OnePlus 5T, of which there will be a review in comparison to very soon, like I alluded to earlier in the video. Now, when it comes to performance, LG was mocked, and this phone was absolutely blasted for only having a Snapdragon 821 and 4GB of RAM, with the S8, the chief rival to the G6, having a Snapdragon 835 and 4GB of RAM. Now, this is something I can not really attest to. I believe that the 821 is plenty fast enough, and 4GB of RAM is enough to run this phone for maybe the next 3 to 4 years, as long as you install custom software. We'll get to that in a second. This is the 821 found in the previous year's Pixel and OnePlus 3T, so it's really not the newest chip out, and for some reason a lot of people hated on that. But this phone is a lot cheaper here in the UK. I found my one brand new for £290, which is £150 cheaper than the brand new OnePlus 5 or 5T. Now yes, those use the newer chips, that's what I was alluding to, but at the same time £150 difference for a little bit of extra RAM and a slightly faster chip. Considering this phone just runs really fast in the first place, runs games really well, you can watch YouTube without stuttering even at high resolutions, I believe that the 821 is just plenty good enough, and I don't feel like there's really an issue going with the 821. And of course you can install up to 256GB micro SD cards to expand the base 32GB storage. I do wish they'd have actually had a higher base storage in the first place, maybe going 32, 64, 128, something like that. But it's okay considering you do have microSD expansion. This software ruins the G6 for me and is the reason that it's already sold. It's already gone to the next owner. I do not want to see this phone again. This phone has been out for 8 months or more and is still on 7.0 Nougat with no plans to upgrade, which is just not good enough to me. You know, the 6P from a year and a half, 2 years ago has Oreo already, and we're not even getting 7.1.1 Nougat on the G6. Okay, changing gears for a second, we've got the battery. It's a 3300 mAh cell and lasted me pretty much the whole day, absolutely no problem. A lot of reviewers said that the battery wasn't good enough in their devices. I don't personally agree with this, but then I didn't use the phone a lot because I was turned off by the software just so much. How come you guys in America, I had an AT&T model, I bought it by accident, I sold it, it was fine. How do you guys live with the amount of bloat that AT&T puts on a phone? There must have been like a good 15, 20 apps AT&T put on there. Some of them weren't even AT&T, some of them were like Amazon and random stuff like that. Like, why is that on there? And it's not removable. Over here we might get like 1, 2 or 3 apps and you're probably in the dark zone here. Either way, back to the battery life. Browsing social media, watching YouTube, playing moderate games is all absolutely perfect on this phone and will not really lead to any problems unless you're streaming with Bluetooth to a speaker or headphones, or you're predominantly using like the mobile data. If you're using Wi-Fi and you have those extra location services turned off and everything, you should be able to get to like maybe 4.5, 5 hours of screen on time and just last a full day. But then of course, if you're playing games that are limited, I don't like giving screen on times because a lot of people have different uses for their phones. And I personally just read text and look at articles. I don't really watch YouTube. Okay, so the bottom firing speaker isn't the best in the world, but at least it's good enough. And the fact that you've got that quad DAC here in Europe means that it's not really an issue. You just plug in some good headphones or maybe use Bluetooth or something like that. Of course, it's nothing like a front-firing pair of speakers like the 6P or the Pixel 2 or anything like that, but it's definitely good enough. Overall, how do I feel about the LG G6? It's a phone that I went into really wanting to like, and I mean seriously wanting to like. You talk to any of my friends, the G6 was the one I wanted to go to for that brilliant display, that incredible wide-angle camera mainly, and the fact that it's like, really classy, but at the same time not so elegant and means business. And basically as soon as I set the phone up, as soon as I saw all those AT&T apps, as soon as I saw there's no app drawer, as soon as I noticed that we're only on 7.0, it fell away from me, basically. I didn't want it anymore. And considering you can buy something like a 6P or OnePlus 3 for around £200 to £225, you could just go with that. You're getting probably a better camera quality, way better software, more customization ability, but of course you are losing out on that wide angle experience and that design and stuff. So it really does matter on the person. Back to the question, should you still buy the G6? This is a hard one for me, but I'm just gonna have to say no. I didn't want to say no. I mean, some of you are still gonna go out and buy it, and some of you are gonna absolutely tear me to shreds in the comments saying about installing custom software, but I urge you to go into like an O2 or a 3 or an AT&T or whatever kind of shop you are where you live. Go in there and try out the wide angle, because I did about twice in some shops in my local town and I was hooked by just the incredible wide angle nature of it. So then I go and use it and it's still an incredible experience, but it's just not great quality. But please do subscribe if you're new around here to never miss a video like this one. Please do like or dislike the video based on your thoughts, and please do comment in the comments below. Like I said, this is an incredible phone, but I can't recommend it just due to that software going into the future. Anyway guys, my name's been Ryan Thomas for Failtech, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.